Tonight on Coyote News, the Vermilion Public Transit gets students home after consuming alcohol. But how safe is it for minors? And learn how students can use campus resources to fight drug and alcohol addictions. I'm John Wetherington.
And I'm Kathleen Surrey. The university-wide smoking ban has been in effect for over a year now, but the increasing popularity of smokeless devices may mean some changes to the ban are in the works, and a popular app that's been sparking attention from the media. Plus, women's basketball adds 2 more victories to their conference total, and USD's softball team goes 3-2 in San Diego. But first, the headlines with Abby Pierce.
Protests in Ukraine have killed at least 25 people and injured more than 240. The protest started in November when Ukraine President Viktor Yanukovych rejected a trade deal with the European Union. The protests heightened yesterday after Russia announced it would renew financial support to Ukraine. Protesters say the new deal is aligning Russia and shunning Europe and the U.S. The USDA is recalling nearly 9 million pounds of beef products after finding the meat is diseased and unsound. Now, Nestle is recalling 2 of their own Hot Pocket products, the Philly cheese and steak in 3 different pack sizes, and the croissant crust Philly steak and cheese in the 2-pack box. Officials say the Nestle products use meat processed by Rancho Feeding Corporation, the source of the recalled meat. Check your freezer. And those are your headlines.
South Dakota's largest job fair is bringing 132 businesses and organizations to Sioux Falls. The 24th annual SD Big Job Fair provides students the opportunity to network with employers and graduate schools. Organizations attending the event include Sanford, Aflac, Northwestern Mutual, and Kelloland. Students who register by Friday, either online or by filling out a form at the Academic and Career Planning Center, attend the event for free. After that date, the entrance fee for walk-ins is $10. The event will take place Tuesday from 10 to 4 at the Sioux Falls Convention Center.
Students use the Vermilion Public Transit bus to get home safely from the bars, but minors who ride the bus may not feel so safe. Coyote News' Mackenzie Schaffbenter says some students have seen people being breathalyzed when boarding the bus. But Vermilion Police Chief Matt Betson says that it has nothing to do with the police.
I'm sure the police have gone on the bus at some point or another. As far as sitting on the bus for an enforcement in a uniform, I don't know any case where that is the case.
The police are not breathalyzing on the bus, but Betson explains that people can still be arrested when on it.
We're not going to go on the bus just to check for minors, but if someone were to call their attention to them, like, get into a fight, hit somebody, and then flee onto the bus, they would go onto the bus.
While police take underage drinking seriously, Betson explains that violence would cause the police to monitor the bus before underage drinking would.
Other issues I could think people might want us on the bus is because there have been violence on the bus in the past. I think a better solution for that would be to put cameras on the bus, because I just don't see the level of violence being necessary to post a police officer on the bus.
For Coyote News, I'm Mackenzie Schaffbenter.
After the break, learn how USD students can get help to combat drug and alcohol addiction, and how devices like e-cigarettes will impact the university's current smoking ban. Stay tuned.
Since the death of actor Philip Seymour Hoffman, the dangers of drug addiction are in the headlines once again. Coyote News' Jackie Hendry says there are campus drug policies and addiction services for students.
Drug use is dangerous not only to a student's health, but also to their future at USD.
Lieutenant Jeff Rice of the University Police Department said that in the last year there had been just one arrest made related to drugs other than marijuana. but that doesn't mean that there aren't drug policies still in place at the university.
According to the Board of Regents Policy Handbook, the punishment for a first offense varies by region, but often includes mandatory assessment. A second offense means a $100 fine and placement on conduct probation. 3 offenses, and a student could be suspended for a semester or required to seek treatment at their own expense. And the penalties don't stop there.
If the infraction is extreme enough, students also risk expulsion. And if the behavior constitutes a felony, policy requires that the student be turned over to law enforcement.
But there is help for students struggling with addiction. The Student Counseling Center offers addiction counseling without charge or fear of punishment.
Our facility, although it is part of the campus, doesn't function any different than any other mental health clinic or medical clinic in that the student's record is kept confidential unless they choose for it to be shared in some capacity. One thing I like to encourage people to do is to utilize the counseling center as a resource for consultation. And I just encourage people to call and ask questions. You don't have to disclose who you are or the person that you're concerned about, but you can simply just ask questions.
For Coyote News, I'm Jackie Hendry.
Students can also reach USD's counseling services by email.
For more than a year, USD grounds have been smoke-free following a campus-wide ban on tobacco products. But with the increasing popularity of smokeless devices like e-cigarettes and hookah pens, the Student Government Association is considering amending the ban. Junior Rochelle Norberg is the state and local committee chair. She says the organization is gathering feedback from students and faculty about what the next step should be.
We've had students approach senators and the state and local committee as a whole regarding the ban, not necessarily on including e-cigarettes and like hookah pens and wanting to include them, but more for clarity and wanting to know if it's acceptable to have them on campus. If so, where is it acceptable?
It has received positive comments on the smoking ban so far.
You don't have people walking behind people that are smoking on your way to class. A lot more friendly as far as having potential students and visitors on campus as well as current students and faculty.
But some students still don't agree with the ban.
Because if I smoke on campus, there's no consequences. And the only consequence is that I litter my cigarette because they took away the ashtrays.
There's no direct course of action set in place to enforce the ban. SGA elections are just a few weeks away. In the first of a series, Coyote News' Taylor Moore is live in the muck with one of the presidential candidates, Jess Peterson. Taylor?
Thanks, John. I'm here live in the muck with SGA Senator and possible future SGA President Jess Peterson. Thank you so much for coming, Jess.
Well, thank you for having me, Taylor.
Absolutely. So, we would all like to know, why did you decide to run for SGA this year?
I decided to run for SGA president this year because I'm so passionate about the University of South Dakota. I've had the privilege of being elected as an SGA senator to the Senate, and I've been able to represent the students of the Arts and Sciences Department, and I would just like to expand that. Students really voice their concerns, and I'm really appreciative of the contact we have with them, and I just want to expand that.
So what are some of the things that you plan to do if elected president of SGA?
Some things we plan to do if we are elected, my running mate Bill Belch and I, is bring SGA back to the students. We started doing that with this administration and we've done great work and great groundwork. We want to just continue that on and really reach out to students. We're kind of asking students to come to us to speak to us, but we really need to reach out to them, sit down with them, make sure their needs are being met as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jess. That was SGA Senator Jess Peterson and possible future SGA President Jess Peterson. Live in the muck, I'm Taylor Moore.
Thanks, Taylor. Next week, Taylor will be in the muck with Jess's opposition, Tyler Tordson, who's also running for SGA president. The SGA debate is scheduled for next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock on this channel.
On this week's Coyote blog, Malachi Peterson reminds students of the importance of education.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys had a great 3-day weekend. You're going to need it since midterms are coming up really soon. The thing I want to focus on today is education. What is it? Why do we need it? And most importantly, what purpose does it have? These are all questions that we ask ourselves while we're in the undergraduate years. Let me guide you a little bit. We are all here in hopes of getting a career that we enjoy for the rest of our lives. Okay, sure, people use this time to have fun and go out with friends. I understand that. But what we need to do is balance between work and fun as much as possible. Fun should never be the thing you do week in and week out. And for those that work and study all the time, you need to learn how to cut back. Lastly, your undergraduate years are more about connections than you realize. Having a high GPA is just a number. It's actually not an indicator for getting a job. Knowing the right people and getting their recommendations will get you much farther than any paper you ace when it comes to finals. If you get the kind of job that you truly enjoy, you will never have to work a single day of your life. For Coyote Blog, I'm Malachi Peterson, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Malachi. Coming up after the break, a behind-the-scenes look of a documentary featuring USD students at an archaeological site in Peru, and a popular app that's making the headlines. Stay with us.
USD's Contemporary Media and Journalism Department can be seen and heard all over campus. Faculty members know that hands-on experience now is the key to success after college. Get professional experience by participating in one of the many practicums offered. Have your voice heard on the radio. Edit a promo for a campus organization. Investigate breaking news stories for a weekly newspaper. Design advertisements for local businesses. Get involved with the CMJ department at USD and start your future now.
From managing your bank account to browsing social media and even spending time playing addicting games, there seems to be a downloadable application for almost anything. Coyote News' Angela Morrow explores one of the apps that's making the headlines.
Smartphones, iPods, and tablets. They're a part of our daily lives. We use their apps for work and play. But recently, one of those apps has soared to new heights in popularity. Flappy Bird, a mobile game app released last spring, has recently stolen the spotlight with its sudden disappearance from the market. We spoke with a local mom to get her views on what makes this game so enjoyable.
How it's so simple but yet so hard is what makes it such a challenge, and it keeps me trying to get my score higher.
Despite being a simple game, Flappy Bird has brought millions of dollars to the industry.
Advertising in gaming is huge. And anytime you get eyes on screen, that's the whole point. So people are purchasing ads to put into games because people are playing games. And so the mobile gaming is actually set to become a bigger player in the industry than home gaming as far as, Xbox, PlayStation, and things like that.
But recently, the CEO had some concerns about its addictive nature and removed the game from the market. After the removal, smartphones began selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars on eBay and Craigslist, all offering Flappy Birds to those that missed out. For Coyote News, I'm Angela Morrow.
Thanks, Angela. On Saturday, USD hosted the Southeast South Dakota Scripps Regional Spelling Bee in Alf's Auditorium. There were 35 contestants participating in the bee, and with each round, students were eliminated if they made any mistakes. Before the oral spelling test, the participants tested their knowledge with a written exam. 12 rounds passed by, and the spelling bee was down to its final two spellers. Harshavardhan Kadekarasamy and Adele Benoit continued for over 30 rounds until Adele finished on top by spelling Jiva. The top three winners from the oral exam advanced to the State Scripps Spelling Bee on March 22nd. The top speller from that competition will continue to the National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C.
USD's longest-running student organization, Strollers, is having their annual performance this Friday and Saturday. Coyote News' Erica Arpan is live in the muck with Lindsay Sparks. Erica?
Thanks, Kathleen. It's that time of year again. The 91st annual Stroller Show is finally here. I'm standing here with Lindsay Sparks, the advisor for the organization, and she's going to tell us more about the show. Thank you for being with us, Lindsay.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
What can we expect this weekend?
Another competitive show, as it always is. People are very excited for this year. It'll be a little bit different. We only have 4 casts this year. Our independent cast is not joining us, so we hope to see them back for 92nd. But we're really excited. The Strollers are very excited. They've done their content review. They've done all their practicing. Tonight we have backdrop reveal, tomorrow night's dress rehearsal, and then opening night.
And what kind of traditions could we see at the show that the Strollers do?
Obviously, the MCs and kind of the script and the thank yous and that sort of thing. Stop the music, my favorite tradition from Strollers as we come out of intermission between the cast is another huge tradition. And then obviously crowning the winner for each show.
Okay, and do you know what the teams look like this year?
We have obviously a sorority with each with fraternity pairs. So Pi Phi will kick off the show as our first cast, followed by Alpha Psi Delta. Then we'll go to a short intermission, and then Theta will come and welcome us back from intermission, and then Alpha Phi will round us out. So we're very excited.
All right, thank you so much for being with us.
No problem.
If you haven't picked up your ticket yet, make sure you stop by the Muck from 10 to 2, and you can also pick them up at the door. Live in the Muck, I'm Erica Arpan.
On this week's Yield Report, Bailey Millen takes a behind-the-scenes look at a documentary featuring USD students in Peru.
Behind this door in Edit Bay 139 of USD's very own Al Newhart Media Center sits Kate Simmerly, a USC alum who works on editing her very own documentary of an excavation done in Peru. USD students who worked on the dig are featured in Kate's film. This week on the Yield Report, I take a closer look at Kate's progress on the film.
The film is about the experience of being in a field school, which involves going with a group of other students and working alongside those students, as well as international students, local archaeologists, and then local people, all in a collaborative effort to uncover mysteries from the past.
Simmerly had originally gone to Peru and worked as a student on the dig right after high school. Matthew Sayre, assistant professor of anthropology at USD and Simmerly's cousin, asked Kate to film the dig because of her prior involvement.
When he took the group of USD students down, he thought of me because I'm a filmmaker now, and I'd had that experience as a student, so I could relate to their experience and really tell their story from a personal perspective.
Simmerly's film does not have a firm release date yet, but the public will be able to see the film on certain broadcast networks.
It will definitely find a home on SDPB and other Midwest PBS stations. Our hope is that it goes into classrooms nationwide.
For the Yield Report, I'm Bailey Millen.
Coming up after the break, the women's basketball team moves ahead in the Summit League with 2 more wins. And sports commentator Courtney Starrick revels in the U.S. hockey team's win over Russia. Stay with us. Rebels.
Always there for you. Coyote News, Wednesday, live at 5.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, both the men's and women's basketball teams earned wins last week, and the softball team is now 5-3 after a tournament in San Diego. I'm Michaela Feldman.
And I'm Nicole Griffith. The USD women's track and field team is ranked nationally in breaking school records. Plus, sports commentator Courtney Starrett covers the Miracle on Ice, too. First, the headlines. Abby?
Louisville men's basketball coach Rick Pitino is banning his players from Twitter. The Hall of Fame coach says social media poisons athletes' minds, and if it was up to him, he wouldn't let any of his players use any form of social media. Pitino says we are losing our abilities to communicate, especially young people. LeBron James scored 42 points in last night's game against the Dallas Mavericks. This marks a season high for James as the Heat swept the Mavericks 117-106. Dallas coach Rick Carlisle says James is great, and the Mavericks know he is great, especially since they scored a bunch of points on Dallas last time and even more last night. The USA hockey team will proceed to the Olympic semifinals after the victory over the Czech Republic. The U.S. team beat the Czech team 5-2. Also in hockey, the U.S. women's team defeated Sweden earlier this week 6-1. The women will move on to the Olympic finals to play Canada for the gold. And that's a look at what's new in sports.
Several Coyotes on the track and field team put up some notable performances last weekend at the Iowa State Classic, helping the Coyote women jump up 19 spots to the national rankings to number 14. Emily Grove was named Summit League Athlete of the Week after winning the pole vault with a jump of 14 feet 4 inches, a height that ranks second in Division I. Megan Gleiser broke the high jump school record and now ranks third in D1 after jumping 6 feet and 3/4 inches at ISU. Jeff Metler set a school record in the 5,000-meter run, breaking the 14-year-old record by 7 seconds. The Coyotes will compete Friday in the Dome, hosting the USD Open.
The women's basketball team rolled to a victory in their pink-out game against IPFW, winning 84-71. The first half featured a close game with 6 ties and 8 lead changes. But coming out of the locker room, USD went on a 13-0 run and never looked back, expanding its lead to 25 in the second half. Nicole Seecamp led the way with 19 points, while Margaret McLeod added 14. Taya He-Miller added a double-double with 11 points and 11 rebounds. The Yotes won their 3rd straight game against conference leader IUPUI on Saturday, led by Nicole Seecamp and Rochelle Contreras, each scoring 16 points. With the wins, USD improves to 5-5 in the conference play and 14-11 overall. The Yotes travel to Omaha tomorrow night and Western Illinois this weekend, before heading into rivalry week at the Dome.
The men's basketball team had games on the road this week. The Coyotes lost to Fort Wayne on Thursday, but won against IUPUI on Saturday. USD broke a halftime tie to defeat IUPUI 71-67. Trevor Gruce scored 18 points for USD, accumulating over 1,300 points in his career. Gruce is the 19th player at USD to reach the mark. Tyler Lawson contributed 13 points to the win. The basketball team plays its final home games this week. They'll take on Omaha tomorrow night and Western Illinois on Saturday.
The softball team had a tough tournament last weekend in San Diego, winning 2 of their 5 games. The Coyotes started the tournament with losses to 23rd-ranked California, San Diego State, and St. Mary's, but they battled back to defend Cal State, Fullerton, and Texas State. Morgan Hancock hit USD's first home run of the year against Texas State, leading the Yotes with 4 hits in the game. USD improves to 5-3 overall. They travel to the University of Louisiana Monroe this weekend.
On this week's sports commentary, Courtney Sterrett says the timing is right for the Americans in the competition for Olympic hockey gold.
Having the home advantage in Sochi wasn't enough for Russia to pull out a win against the U.S. in the Olympics. Some people are referring to the miracle on ice when U.S. faced Russia in 1980, as the rivalry was brought back to life this past weekend. It's not as powerful as it once was, but still an ego boost for Americans. Not only did the U.S. win the game, but they had to battle through overtime, leading to a shootout, making that 3-2 victory even sweeter. Dan Bylsma, the U.S. coach, had plenty of great players to choose from for the shootout, but time after time, he put his faith into T.J. Oshie for 6 out of the 8 rounds. Oshie, who used to play for the Sioux Falls Stampede, scored 4 times, and his last shot slid between the leg pads of Russian goalie Brabovsky, making the memorable win for America. Some might have been surprised with the coach's decision at the time to keep putting in the same player, but once Oshie heated up, there was no stopping him. So far in the NHL this season, Oshie has the best shootout record when it comes to making goals. Since the rules change at the Olympics and you don't have to have a different player from the bench come in after the 3rd round in a shootout, Coach Bylsma definitely put the game into the right hands. It's still pretty early with the standings when it comes to medals, but with the skill the men's hockey team has been showing, things are looking pretty bright, especially with the encouragement from the women's hockey team being in the finals against Canada. Hockey fans and players couldn't be more excited for gold. For Coyote Sports, I'm Courtney Sterrett.
Thanks, Courtney. After the break, Chuck's in the Muck quizzing students on how well they know United States leaders. And Chuck asked President's Day in the Muck. Stay with us.
Not getting your message across clearly? Contact Kyle Creative for all your promotional needs.
From figure skating to luge to skiing and snowboarding, the Winter Olympic Games showcase a wide variety of athletic events.
On this week's Out and About, we asked students which Winter Olympic sport is their favorite.
What if I don't like the Winter Olympics?
Alpine skiing. I love watching the skiing because I really enjoy doing it myself.
Curling.
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 Curling, because it tests the true athleticism of each country and just shows, what they're really made of and what they stand for.
Is figure skating one?
Hockey.
Figure skating.
Hockey.
Ice skating.
Hockey.
Ice skating. Ice skating.
Ice hockey.
Hockey. It's the best sport in the world.
I don't really have one because I haven't really watched the Olympics in a while. So.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding. Just because I like to see people do flips and stuff that I could never do when I was snowboarding. That was pretty awful.
Luge, because they fly fast down that ice track, and it's amazing how much control they can keep on that sled.
Sledding? Does that count? Yeah, sledding, definitely. Luge, because I always feel like I don't hope that somebody falls over, but I want to see a crash.
I actually really love the Olympics, but we can't get it in our dorm room on our TV, so I'm actually really mad about it.
On this week's Chuck in the Muck, Chuck Gresser asks students about the presidents of the United States.
This is
Ian.
in the
Muck.
Wow, that didn't really rhyme though. Who's your favorite president?
Ronald Reagan.
Why's that?
I don't know, I just...
You think he's cute?
I mean, I guess you could say that.
You like wrinkles? Who's your favorite president?
Bill Clinton.
Really?
Yeah. Don't ask me why.
I can agree with that. You want to answer some questions? Just about presidents.
I don't like politics.
It's not politics, it's President's Day. We have a day off for it. What were George Washington's teeth made out of?
Wood? Wood.
Not. It was ivory.
It's the same thing.
One grows on elephants and is butchered off very inhumanely, and one is just cut down on a tree.
Teeth? Teeth? So it's not inhumane to cut down a tree?
Touche. I haven't thought about that before. I'm gonna leave before my mind blows. Yeah, it just makes sense to kill an elephant and then make your teeth out of that, right? That's what I would do.
Baby elephant.
Who's your favorite president?
Abraham Lincoln.
Why?
Because he's awesome.
Polk.
Because it's fun to say.
Not Obama.
Not a good answer. Is that because you're not attracted to him?
That would be a racist term if I agreed or disagreed.
She don't want to seem like she easy. To say what you want to do. Is this Heroes?
No, that is Bring It On, All or Nothing.
And this president suggested a play to the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl VI. If you get this right, I'll take you to dinner.
I don't know. Ronald Reagan.
Take one more chance.
Nixon.
There you go. You just won dinner. I'll find you later. And you still want Jennifer Aniston as your mom?
Can I change it to Rachel Ray? She's the awesome cook.
I can live with that. For Coyote News, this has been Chuck in the Muck.
A new copy of the Volant hit newsstands today. Be sure to pick up a paper to read about where the funding is coming from for some campus research projects. That story and many others can be found online at volantonline.com.
That's all for Coyote News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Have a great night. We'll see you next time.